Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. Today we are reviewing and of course revealing spoilers, which I guess I should be saying in some of these because we are, about Dark Winds, season 4, and this is episode 5, and the title of it, which I just want to say for at least 50% of them, I don't think the titles are any good. I don't like them at all. But the title is Those Who Harm One Another. And I'm just not thrilled with it.
I think they could have just called it Leroy. Or they could have called it Mike Garcia.
No.
They could have done something. I don't know. I think the title is it's kind of weak. And remember Safi, we're already over halfway through the season. We have how many episodes left? 2, 3?
I guess so.
3 episodes left. And it's like the show just started. And really this season is turning out to be pretty weak. Okay, Safi, be quiet. It's turning out to be pretty weak. The mystery's pretty weak. And it really, what I think is interesting is that once again you have all this side story with the soap opera stuff. And I think it's funny because if you took the soap opera stuff out of it, you wouldn't be left with very much of a story at all.
No, you wouldn't.
Safi has read the book. She knows all about the story, I guess, and it doesn't seem like that interesting of a story. It seems like, I think what the writers are doing is they're combing through all the different books and they're saying, which one of these is going to make the best TV show? Which one of these is going to have like a hitman or some sort of like a gunfight, or some bad guy who chases you around with a gun? Which one of these is going to do that? And then they write everything else around that. And to be honest, I didn't think this episode was terrible. It's just kind of like,
Well, the thing is, the basic mystery isn't really, this is very basic. You have a guy who has probably a lot of power because he has a lot of underlings who will do anything for him. He has been, we don't know what he's in charge of an import-export operation, which sounds to me like it could be sex trafficking, it could be guns, or it could be drugs, or a combination of the three.
Usually it's a combination. It's never just one thing.
Yeah, so that's basic. So he got caught. We kind of went through this before we started doing the review.
Yeah.
He got caught. There were witnesses who were going to testify, and they have been knocking him off one by one. And without the witnesses, he can't get convicted. The case won't stand up. And he is behind bars. But the thing is, he has such a network, it goes beyond the bars. So he doesn't have to be free to have people who work for him do bad things to other people. So that's really basically the story, is him getting rid of witnesses, which involves that teenage girl's cousin, and
Leroy
and the teenage girl
Billy. Which they say that name a lot in this episode, by the way.
I know.
Especially the opening scene, and you're just like, that girl! And then there's the guy who goes over to get the girl from the other guy, and then the other guy comes to get that girl, and they all, the guys and the girls.
Okay.
That's what you sound
Billy.
like, Safi.
I went to high school. One of my really good friends was named Billy. So
okay, I went to high school with a Billy, and he was a little rat faced
this
fuck.
was a girl named Billy, so there are not that many girls named Billy.
I already blew that myth out the window. So, anyways, I want to get through because I think it's a shame because Safi does not have the master memory that I have.
No, nobody. I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, that's true.
Safi has a very good memory.
That's very true. And what the reason why I'm saying that is because I wish that she could remember like every single book to where she could do like a ranking of all the books, because then I could go in there and suggest like which one of these would be the best one to have adapted, because it could be a situation where like I don't know, but maybe they're adapting the best ones. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. It seems like last season they did that shitty one with Emmanuel Leda, and that one was bad. And then this season,
that one in a way is better than this one. Just the mystery part of it. I think it was interesting to have these circular things they called them pigs, and then they put the drugs in the pigs.
I didn't think it was interesting because you lied and said it was sex trafficking, and you made it seem like it was. I thought it was a lot more sinister than it was. I thought it was going to be a lot darker, a lot more interesting and action packed, and instead it's like, oh, it's just drugs, and there's this bad guy and he buries people alive, and
I guess
apparently that's not even in the book.
You got to wonder. In real life, is there going to be a movie or something with the Epstein thing and
yes,
trafficking, you think?
Yes, Safi.
It'll be interesting to see. I thought about that, wondered what that would be like.
Joe Rogan asked Oliver Stone if he would make a movie about that.
Really?
And see, Oliver Stone is probably one of the bad ones, and he said something like...
I haven't heard about him long.
He said something like, why would I want to make a movie about that when I could make a movie about nuclear and nuclear bombs and countries having nuclear bombs? I think that that's a much more interesting topic. And so he really diverted really fast from that question about the Epstein, But anyways...
Well, that story and all the things that are coming out about that is by little tiny trickles is a lot more interesting than this story. That's the thing. But the thing about this show, or I should say this season, are all the soap opera layers attached to it.
Well, and also I watched Scream 3 last night.
Oh, did you?
And I will say that there's been some terrible allergies. Safi said last night she had a dry throat. I had a really, really dry throat, and you can kind of hear it. I still kind of have a irritation today. I might not even be able to go to the movies later because the allergies are so bad. The air's so dry. I don't even know why, but Scream 3 had a better mystery than this. I mean, I go from watching episodes of The Mentalist, which not all of them are good, but a lot of them are, and then to watching this. And it's like, it's kind of like drinking a Dr. Pepper and then, the next day you drink a Mountain Dew Zero or something.
I think the problem is that when you read the books, you get layers of, not soap opera, but you get layers of the environment, the culture, just the whole ambiance of the area in which you're reading about, which makes it really cool because only part of the country is familiar with the area. The rest of the country isn't. They have their own, New England is not Navajo land, the Navajo reservation, and it's just.
And you take all that out. You take all that out by putting them in California.
And now you're in California. Well, you're in L.A.
Which they're not really in California. They're in like a couple of streets here and there. Like they're in, they're doing the classic thing where like, oh yeah, we're in some California apartments and on a couple of streets, but like it really does. It's not California, probably.
So the thing is that it starts out, and I believe every episode has started off like this. You have this, something is happening. It's usually something negative, where somebody gets killed or hurt. And this week, it's Joe getting jumped in a parking garage.
Yeah.
While Emanuelita and Jim Chi are
playing in the bathroom.
They're messing around in the bar, and I'm just saying, and they're not messing around. And
she's playing grab ass again.
You know, actually, she's grabbing him because he's passed out in the bathroom, and because he took a drug from that guy, whose name is Sonny, by the way, the long-haired, and I guess he's Native American. I could have sworn he said in this episode that he was Hopi. And Hopi and Navajo in these books, which is probably for real, they have kind of a little rivalry. And
I think Jim Chi is the one who said Hopi.
But by the end of the episode, I mean, we're still going to talk about it. I'm wondering if the long-haired guy, Sonny, is really Leroy.
I don't know
who they're looking for. So I don't
know.
The
best part of the episode for me was the very end, because it was very comedic.
It was queer.
I went up to Safi after I finished watching the episode, and I reenacted that moment, and she was just like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I didn't understand that. Like, it was really fun. She went into like a psychotic rant about it, like about just like, what was that, you know?
But this opening scene or opening sequence of events, Joe gets beaten up. They say, "Who are you? And what do you want? And what do you know about McNair?" And you've heard this name before, and I heard it before. And but then it's mentioned again, and you don't know who these people are. It's two guys, I believe, and they go away. And for some reason, you know, Joe comes out of there, and he's holding his. He's gotten really beaten up. His ribs could be broken, cracked, bruised, whatever. But he's in a lot of pain. He comes out of there, and he ends up going to see Emma, and of course Jim and Emanuelita are with him. And it comes, and then he has this little thing with Emma.
Yeah,
a
because
little soap opera thing.
Joe Sleephorn, he is such a weak character, and like, yes, he did get beat up, and he did. I guess he broke a couple of ribs, but it's so bad. It's such a bad image. At the opening, he has to pick up his ID, and he's like, and he can barely like bend over to pick it up, and it's like, this is the main character of the show, this really weak and just barely. I mean, he's basically like a flake in the wind, and like a snowflake.
In the books, he's kind of he's very what would you call it? He's very quiet, but he's very good. And he's kind of like a legend. That's how everybody knows him. Because he's so good at solving cases.
There's no way in hell you would call this character a legend, because
not
he is just so weak and bad. And then he goes to the medical center where Emma is working, and she's wrapping him up, and she's complaining about, even though I'm in California, I still end up having to take care of you. And it's like, oh, wait a second, I thought that you wanted to feel needed. So why is Joe being injured making you upset that he needs you? It just, that whole story is just a pile of shit.
Well,
what do you think of that? I mean, that is pretty hypocritical, Safi.
I was turned off by it. I'm sorry. I just feel like, you know, they're only there. He's not there to get back together with her. Well, he probably is a little bit, but their main goal is to get that teenage girl and take her home, because she's in danger, and to keep her from getting killed. That's basically, plus they do have a murder investigation from the reservation that there was 2 murders, and that was the people who were at that cafe. And that was that woman, that hit woman. It just sounds so weird to say hit woman.
Why?
I don't know, it's just weird. And so,
Excuse me.
they're going to go back to the reservation eventually, and whether Emma's going to stay or go, that's going to be up to her. And I would just get kind of sick and tired of hearing her say stupid stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I can understand her being angry, but I mean, just how long are you going to keep that up?
Yeah, like she's mad at Joe for having like a grudge or holding this anger over his son for so long, but then now she's gonna hold a grudge against Joe.
Yeah, I know she's doing the same thing. So what's the difference?
Yeah. Well, I think what's funny, I think because the writers are pretty bizarre, they're obsessed with female characters coming into town or leaving town. I predict that the last scene of the season, or one of the last scenes, is going to be Joe and Emma, and Joe is like, oh, you don't have to come back to the reservation. I understand, the typical beta male bullshit. And then he's going to leave, and then the last shot is going to be, oh, look, Emma leaves too. She's going with him. She's going to go back now, all of a sudden. I predict that'll be the last thing of the season. Maybe.
I don't know.
Or it could be something really cringeworthy where she stays in California and he leaves, and it's like, ew. It's modern feminazi storytelling invading 1970s period crime storytelling.
I don't know.
And, I don't know.
So, then we get to, well, the only person who's done really any
crime work
has been
Jim Chi.
And he says, what are these guys like? What do they say? And so he thinks they're FBI, undercover. And so he goes to his old FBI co-worker, and he's dressed up like he's going to work. And he wants some answers.
Yeah.
And so the guy says, oh, sure, I'll meet with you, but we'll see what happens. And he finds out that those were 2 undercover FBI agents, and that just freaks me out. They beat the crap out of Joe Leaphorn. They even said when they were beating him up, I bet, and he had his badge with him, and they said, I bet this is fake. This isn't real. And, they hurt him. They broke his ribs. They could have killed him. And that's undercover FBI?
I don't know.
And no, he knew who they were because one of them.
No, I don't know if you do that in real life. I don't
know either.
Because
I don't know.
I've seen on the Mentalist now. There's been multiple times where one of the agents is having a bad time, and then they do something like a little rough to someone, and there's a complaint. Like there's immediately, now they're gonna get complained on. There was one scene where the one of the girls pushed over this woman's coffee cup and spilled her coffee all over her keyboard, and she got complained on. But in this supposedly gritty, realistic show, if you're working as an undercover FBI, you can go around breaking people's ribs like it's like Rocky. Where he goes around breaking people's bones and shit.
Well, I don't remember hearing
like
that
the mafia.
They've ever done stuff like that. I mean, that may sound really naive, but I don't see the point of it. I'm probably going to have to get water because the soda isn't helping.
Well,
anyway.
Safi literally came in here because we're both having allergy issues, but Safi came in here with like a little tiny bit of soda, with like a fourth of a cup of soda, and I guess she thought, Safi, go ahead, bye.
So
go get your
anyway,
water.
Well, just let's say.
Oh, okay.
Remember
go get
when
your
they
water
dropped,
first.
Remember when they dropped this name McNair? Well, the FBI agent talks about this case, and that they've got this McNair. They've arrested him. He's behind bars, and he has this business, and he got caught. And anyway, they've been trying to protect the witnesses, but they've been dying one by one, and they think he's going to walk.
Yeah.
And then Lee Porn says, well, is one of them Leroy or whatever?
Albert. And they I guess it's a yes, but
they didn't say yes.
They couldn't say yes.
But they looked like it was yes. And he said, well, he's dead. And they talk about the teenage girl.
And they ask them for help, and they refuse to help unless they can connect the green van to their green van that they saw of another witness who got killed. And then we see them go to that witness's house, and that is the one with the truth will die with you, with that random guy who got killed. That was the witness that they were talking about.
That was an FBI agent, so that's really bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a regular person. It was a police officer who, that's bad. I mean, they can make your life a living hell if you've murdered an FBI agent.
They still acted like... Safi, go get the water now. Come on. They still acted like the truth is something else, though. They acted like it was something that hasn't yet been revealed. And so, I wonder what that is. Because it seems like the mystery is a little too simple and bare, and it doesn't really seem like this mystery... Safi?
What?
Gonna join
like
the class?
They said, well, we'll help you if you help us.
No, Safi, I was talking about the mystery and how they acted like the truth will die with you. Like that's something extra to the mystery. Like that's another secret that's going to be revealed. And you haven't said that there's any other mystery. And you've read the book. Is that really the whole mystery? Is like there's a guy who's going to go to prison and he's killing all the witnesses? Like, is that it?
The only thing I can think of, it's the hit woman.
The hit woman?
Yeah, and what's going on with her and her father.
She's a weirdo. That's what she is.
She's insane.
There is no mystery with her. It's just she's a weirdo and she's German. And, it is what it is. There's a lot of weird people. Like, Safi. Right, Safi?
Whatever.
But they ended up connecting the woman to their witness. And so the FBI will be helping them next episode. Which, I guess that was really the only way that they could get anything done in California. Is if the FBI helps them.
Well, they're based there, and these other three don't even live there, so yeah.
I know that. That's what I was saying, though. I was saying, in terms of plot, they had to come up with a way for them to get help, and this was that way. It was like, it's a contrivance. I don't know if it's from the book, because Safi doesn't really act like she reads very much anymore.
I read like a book or two a week. Would you stop?
I'm just drinking some tea.
Please.
It's called Tension Tamer. Maybe you should try some.
I will try some. So the thing is, they decide what they're going to do is Chi is going to go undercover.
Oh yeah, no. There is a hilarious moment where they're saying something like, Joe is saying something like, well, I guess we can't do this and the FBI can't do this, so maybe Mike Garcia can do this. And it was like, oh my God, that is so cringeworthy, because at the beginning of the season, Joe Leaphorn, he's he's saying that, Jim Chi can't do anything because he's too focused on the spiritual than the real.
Which
that's what he said.
Still is not.
There's no evidence of that at all.
Evidence, no. And in the book, yeah, there's a ton of evidence of that, but not in this show. Not any times. I don't think the last season or this season at all. This season.
That would be like saying that Safi is too much of a hockey fan to do movie reviews anymore. And it's like, well, where's the evidence of that? Where's the evidence?
I can't stand hockey.
It's so random.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's so random and it's so not connected to the show. And then also we should talk about Emanuelita. They have a couple of conversations, and then later on he has a conversation with a hooker. And and first Emanuelita's like, "Do you think we're gonna get through this?" Like soap opera crap. And he doesn't answer, of course.
But he tells the hooker that he's in love with her.
Yeah, he tells the hooker he loves her, and then it's
interesting.
It's hilarious because the hooker says there's two kinds of lies. This is the type of shit that like murderers and evil people would say. There's two kinds of lies. Ones that hurt people and ones that protect people. What kind of a lie was the one that Emanuelita told? And it's like, really? Really? That is such bullshit. Like, that is just it's stupid. It's so stupid. Like, what was that lie protecting? Protecting Jim from, fighting for his rightful place as the one who would take over for Joe? Like, who is that protecting? That's so dumb. That's like, and so I put up on the picture for this video, I put a picture from The Office, where there is a scene in The Office where there's a hooker, and Safi should remember it, but she says that secrets are no fun and secrets hurt people, and Michael was like, oh my God, you're right. And well, in this show, you have a hooker, and she says, there's two kinds of secrets. There's ones that hurt people, and then there's also ones that protect people, which I think is really weird. What do you think of that, Safi? I mean, that was just...
I thought it was just very simplistic.
Yeah.
And maybe that's true, but it's just so...
It's not.
It's just so soap opera. I felt like it was a Hallmark movie. So anyway, sorry. And there's nothing... And I love some Hallmark movies. I don't love all Hallmark movies.
But how did that lie protect anyone?
I don't know.
Who is that lie protecting?
That's what I was wondering when she said that, too.
Yeah.
So, but she was just trying to be nice. And she wasn't trying to pressure him anymore into doing something he didn't want to do either.
I think it would have been funny if he punched her in the face after she said that. Like,
no, it would not have been funny.
It's just like, who cares? Like, this is so, like, what is the conflict here? Like, that Jim Chi deserves to be the one who takes over, and that he doesn't get to do that? Like, is that really the conflict that they're going with,
And he's been more into the mystery than either of the others.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there to protect the girl, and that's very evident. And they're there to find the cousin the girl could be with or looking for. But that's all to protect the girl. That's basically what they're there for. But how do they do that? And Jim Chi is the one who's done all the little legwork to do that, all the mystery. And so, as this person that he's decided to be, he finds that long-haired Native American who somebody, either he or the guy, says he's Hopi. He's not Navajo. And
yeah, there's this whole kind of ride along that he does with the Sunny guy, and they go to this one place, and they find this fat guy in a wheelchair, and he's up to some bad business, and they give him a cheeseburger, and it's really funny because on the way out, there's this random old woman who just happens to be there, and she says, "I remember you," to Jim. And so then he has to kind of pretend like he doesn't know her so that Sonny doesn't find out. And it's like, it's so cliche what's going to happen. It's so predictable.
She's Navajo.
Like,
she's speaking in Navajo. It
Yeah.
isn't just some random white woman
But
saying, I know you. It's a woman speaking in Navajo.
She was random, Safi, because why was she there at that time, at that place,
I
just
couldn't believe
waiting
that.
for him to walk out? Like, it was the most random. It was straight up out of a video game.
And this isn't the reservation. I could understand it more, but and then so I guess, just thinking about that, when I was thinking that is this guy, Sonny, long-haired guy, is that really who they're looking for? Because they don't know what he looks like. Not close up. And but it couldn't be. He would know what that woman said.
Yeah.
And he didn't understand her.
Yeah.
So he would have known. So he isn't Leroy. So that
Safi can barely talk in this video.
I know, it's terrible.
Which is hilarious because I'm the one who did the 50-minute review last night, and I suffered because of it, and it was horrible. But anyways, then Sonny takes him to like a club or
like a bar or
and
something.
then he went in back, and then he got shot, and they both had to run out and escape, and I guess Jim took him back to Sonny's place, and he treated his wound. He got shot in the arm, Sonny did. And then in the background, Jim Chi went, while he was asleep, he went over to his address book and looked inside of it for Leroy's apartment. And he gets the address, and he tells Joe to meet him there, and he goes over to that apartment, and that's the one where Billy and whoever were staying, this other girl, I don't know who she is.
I don't know either.
She's the girlfriend of Leroy,
Yeah,
I
she
guess.
knows Leroy.
And they have fried chicken together. We have fried chicken today because KFC had a very special deal. You could get one free big box meal if you make a purchase of $10. And that's basically buy one, get one free. So that was a great bargain. And so that's a little funny side note. But anyways, the last scene of the episode is Jim goes to see Leroy, and he has to climb through the window. No one's there. And then all of a sudden he starts hallucinating. And he goes all the way to the back, to this back room, to this bedroom, and he's hallucinating his mother being on the floor, covered in blankets and dying from lung cancer. And he goes up to her, and then all of a sudden, this is the funniest part, Sonny is on top of him now, and he looks perfectly okay, and he's pointing a gun at him, and he's like, "Who are you?" And then the episode abruptly ends.
And that's when I thought maybe he's really Leroy, but he didn't know what that novel. I mean, even if he didn't know every word, that was just a basic phrase. That's like, "What is your name? How old are you? Where do you live?" That's like it's a very basic phrase. She didn't say something elaborate or some kind of innuendo of Navajo that you'd have to know to be Navajo. So I thought for some reason I thought maybe he's really Leroy. And also the thing about that is that he didn't even look like he'd been shot.
Yeah.
It's almost like he wasn't even real, like he was also having an hallucination of him.
But it
fine.
was so strange because automatically you see him and he's on top of him and he's like, "Who are you?" And then the episode abruptly ends. And I really think that should be a meme. Like, that you should take... I'm going to take a screenshot of that and put "Who are you?" on top of that. And, like, I could, like, send that to you a bunch of times. I could just keep sending that to you. Like, "Who are you?" I could go to the actors' social media. Their social medias. And they're just making, like, a post like, "It was my birthday today. I'm the actor who plays Jim Chi." And in the comments I could put, "Who are you?" Because it was so random, and the acting...
abrupt. It was very abrupt.
The acting was pretty goofy, too, I think. I mean, he's like, "Who are you?"
It was almost... I think Mark was trying to imply it was comical.
It was comical.
Rather than serious.
It reminded me of, like, a Neil Breen movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't you imagine? Like, that would be a really hilarious fan cut if you took a video of Neil Breen, like, lying down, and then you cut to that shot of that guy going, "Who are you?" That was my favorite part. I would give the episode, like, a C+. There's really nothing there that's wowing me right now.
I gave it a B, but
Yeah.
they did show the hit woman, and she went to the Indian Center, and she was looking for the girl. Remember, she was told by McNair to kill her because she was a loose end, and he was mad that she killed the FBI agent. Remember that?
Yeah.
And which rightly so. We shouldn't be killing anybody, but she's a paid assassin. So, but anyway, they did show her, and then I thought it was interesting one line in the when they show. I have to watch it again because Marco said something about it that I didn't see. But
yeah, they show Jim Chi in the hospital,
which he's been acting like he's bleeding and injured, and then they show it looks like the blood is imaginary.
Yeah, he has some sort of an imaginary wound or something, and it's
when he got. Remember when he did get injured?
Okay,
he was in the hospital. Like it's from that. It's like a post-traumatic stress syndrome.
That was season 2.
I know that, but it's.
And it just
back to get him
it comes back to get him after
PTSD.
The entire season 3 where nothing of that happens.
Something set it off.
The whole season?
I don't know if something set it off, but anyway.
Is that why they have to protect him by lying to him?
That's, I guess. What else would it be?
I don't know.
But anyway, what was I going to say? Crap. Oh, yeah. The hit woman says to him in this little clip from next week, "It's all your fault that I'm killing everybody."
Yeah.
Something to that effect. I'm like, what? That's what I'm saying. This is more with all these little tiny stories that are encircling the real mystery, which is not very much. So that it's like you have to have this stuff to hold it up. They're like support legs.
It's like making a really bad Jenga tower. It's like you're making is it there a Jenga tower? It's like a Jenga tower is really, really wobbly, and you're trying to carefully put a piece on top without it falling over.
Or we're taking a piece out.
Well, you have to take the piece out to put it on top. So
anyway, I want to see that again because it was so bizarre.
No, and you're forgetting that Joe Sleephorn says she's obsessed with me, and when you're obsessed, you make mistakes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That was so cringe. Like it's so strange. It's like she has, and remember, they could not have done this story if it was a guy hitman.
No.
It's only because it's a German woman She is obsessed with him. She has some sort of a thing for him. She wants to go over to his house and
So they've added all this.
make empanadas with him and shit, and I don't know.
Yeah, they've added this part that was never in the book. So.
Oh, you know what I
Because
think
it
they
was
might
male.
do?
And
But you know what I think they might do?
I have no idea.
She's trying to kill Joe, and Emma has to save him.
Oh, well, maybe.
You know, like in that movie Nobody 2, where there's a female villain, so they wouldn't allow the main character to kill her. They had to make it to where... This is a spoiler for Nobody 2. Since it was a female villain, they brought in his wife out of nowhere, who had no experience shooting a real gun. And she just shows up out of nowhere and kills the bad guy because the bad guy is a female villain. So.
Okay, well, I gave it a B. That's the best I can do.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that the people who make the show, they're trying, I guess. It's just really hard for me because I haven't read the books.
I wish you would.
Safi's memory isn't all there, you know.
Yes, it is. I'm reading a completely different book series.
I told her yesterday, you want to get a Big Mac? And she said, "What's a Big Mac?"
I did not. I don't eat that crap. I eat fish sandwiches.
No, that's a joke. That was a joke.
Yeah, he didn't. He's giving you the business.
Well, no, it's just
business.
I want the cliff notes of all the books. I want them to be ranked.
Why don't you read the books?
And then I would rank them.
It isn't the same.
But there's
if
gonna
you don't
be
read them yourself.
But that's just gonna piss me off more. And then there's only gonna be one season left of the show because modern TV shows won't go past 5 seasons. You know.
Well, you still have the reward of reading the books.
Reward? You're saying I get a reward?
Yeah, the reward is enjoying yourself.
Why?
The best thing to do is, when you read the books, you go to the area to see what it's like. And to see how well he captured, Tony Hillerman captured the area and the people. And the language and the environment, the weather, the scenery, all the little nuances that go with that, the food and the people who they don't have much money, and they have this exquisite silver and turquoise jewelry. They might have gotten it from their grandparent. You know, it might be something passed down, and they take it to a pawn shop.
Are you serious, Safi?
I'm serious. And then they get some money, and they live on that and buy food to eat because I don't have any money to buy food, and they use that. So the pawn shop guy keeps the stuff. And,
you know what I think would be really fun?
It's just the whole area. It's unique in of itself.
You know what I think would be really fun?
What?
You could have a staring contest with Emmanuel Leda, and you have to glare at her, and she can do her little scowl.
She did do, and she hasn't done a scowl
she changed.
She did it in this episode.
In this episode, yeah.
Because they said, well, the FBI, which their behavior in this, of course, this is a real thing, that the reservation has had trouble with them because they don't want to be there. They think it's a boring place to be, and they think that they can come in and they just either they solve the cases or they don't, but it's like an afterthought almost. It's just as what they can do to rapidly get out of there, and they didn't care about the teenage girl, Billy, and that she was in grave danger, and because she had witnessed this woman who killed one of their agents, killed Leroy, or whoever that, anyway, her cousin, and they would have him have her on at least that, because that was on the reservation, and that's a federal property, so they would be in charge of that. They would get her, and she'd be taken away. She'd be in federal custody. So, I mean, and then they could try to make the case that she killed the FBI agent. So, I mean, they would have, so she's a key for them, too.
Safi
I don't get it.
Safi is regurgitating now.
Well, anyway, I just don't, their attitude, and so anyway, when they acted like, well, we don't, they said, they acted like they didn't care, she scowled at them, and I'm like, oh my God, there it is.
You think the whole time
scowl is back.
You think the whole time she was scowling because she didn't have a boyfriend yet? Like that was the real reason behind the scowl?
I don't know, but she is the woman, the actress, the actor.
She's
who
an
does the
actress,
best
Safi.
scowl I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody do a scowl as good as her.
I would love her to return to scowling all the time. And
Well,
then when she goes home to Jim Chi and they have dinner together, that's when she's not scowling. Cuz that would be pretty hilarious in terms of acting.
Well, I think they do have chemistry.
Yeah.
I mean, in the books, they are a couple, they get married.
There is a funny
and they
part.
work together.
There's a funny part in this episode where Jim is riding along and he puts on his sunglasses and he literally looks exactly like Jim Jones.
I guess he does,
Jim Chi.
in a way.
He puts his sunglasses on. He looks exactly like him in the car. I thought that was funny.
He does.
I was like, maybe he should do that. Maybe Emmanuel Leda could be Jim Jones's assistant. They could do a Jim Jones movie. And,
They already did that.
Joe Sleephorn comes after him and he's like, I can barely get off the helicopter. I need to go get my insurance and then I'll go get a walker and go investigate. That's what Joe Sleephorn is like now. This is supposed to be the main character.
Well, I wonder if they're going to make it to where they'll have a thing with Emma and him at the end of this episode, and then he'll retire.
Yeah.
And then they'll just rapidly go into the thing where it's Chi and Emanuelita doing all this front work, and Joe will be behind the scenes, which he is in the books privately.
And then that'll be the last season, you're saying?
No, could be leading up to like 2 more seasons or something.
I don't know.
That would be what? There's 4.
Yeah.
And so that would be
but
2 more.
You know that modern TV shows, they're not allowed to go past 5 seasons because they don't want to quote unquote overstay their welcome, even though that's literally what TV shows were made for.
Which is really would be bad, I think, for I think it's good that they have a show about real lives, Native Americans that are, working and living and solving mysteries, and there's disappearances, and there's the other world that infringes on their reservation, and there's that's going to go on forever, and it's nice to have a show about them.
Well, I would go so far as to say I think that the smarter I don't think they're going to be able to do this, but I think the smarter thing would be to do 1 or 2 more seasons with Joe.
Well, they should,
is
because
the lead.
in the book, that's what it would really be.
Is the lead. And then, at the end, have the finale be a teaser for another series, which would be the Jim Chi and Emanuelita show.
Yeah, maybe.
And then they could have a whole new show that is centered around them with Joe in the background. But I don't know how they'd be able to do that with branding. Like, I don't know if the general audience would follow over. But, as we know, Breaking Bad ended, Better Call Saul came on, and that show was really, really good for the first 3 seasons before they ruined it, but it had potential. And I would go so far as to say, a lot of people have said Better Call Saul was better than Breaking Bad. I would highly agree, because I never want to go back. I don't really go back to Breaking Bad at all.
Well, Breaking Bad was unique in and of itself, and I think it's like contained.
But what I'm saying is,
you can't go back to.
I go back. No, that's a lie. But I go back to Better Call Saul, because Better Call Saul is better, I think.
Well, they could do something with that, because, and they actually incorporated people. Didn't they incorporate them from New Mexico?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't Arizona, but it was New Mexico.
And so if I had to give any advice, I would say do 1 or 2 more seasons with Joe and really make him the main character, make it feel like season 1 and 2, and then end the show with the finale that's like a teaser for the next series, which would be Jim Chi and Emanuelita.
Which, that's what really does happen. And that's when Tony dies and his daughter takes over.
They should have done that from the very beginning. Like
I don't think he had more of a male perspective, and I think so. When she got involved, because she had to, basically.
But the TV show.
Oh, the TV show.
I said from the very beginning, they should have just said, "This is going to be the Joe show," and then we'll end this, and we'll make a second show that's all about Jim Chi and Emanuelita.
I just didn't think they knew what they were going to do, or what they were going to be allowed to do.
I think that they wanted to combine things. They wanted to mix and match. They wanted to do like a Frankenstein thing, where they would have the freedom to go like, okay, here's a little bit from this book, here's a little bit from this book, and this story and that story. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. They had, Robert Redford died last year, and he was a very big proponent of the show, as well as this other person. I don't know. I can't recall his name because I don't know who he is. He's probably very famous, and everybody knows him. But I think if it hadn't been for them, they may not have gotten the show on in the first place. I don't know. For sure. But I hope that even though Robert Redford passed away, that this other guy can help foster the show along and maybe do what you said. I don't know, but at least keep it going. And
well, from hearing that, don't you think that would be the better idea? Because I think they could do a total reset, and I think they could learn from their mistakes and make a better second series.
Well, maybe.
Because that's what they did with Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, to be honest, I know that this is going to make a lot of people upset, but for all of the good episodes that show had, it is not rewatchable. The characters are not very likable at all, which a lot of people, they all say Walter White is a horrible character. Well, there you go. There's not really many like. In fact, the best character on Breaking Bad was Saul.
Oh.
And so that's why Better Call Saul is better, because he's a better character, and they learned from their mistakes. They slowed down and they told a character-driven story, and the story in Better Call Saul in the first 3 seasons was better than the entire series of Breaking Bad. So
they really did a lot of cool things.
And until season 4, that is. Yeah.
Well, until Vince, whatever his name is, got
midlife crisis
and got a crush, or whatever you want to call it, on that blonde Kim.
He's totally obsessed with her. It's unbelievable.
I don't know. We're just saying that we don't know that for sure.
No, I know that for sure, because I've listened to all the commentaries, and I'm going to be showing Safi all the clips It's very funny, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying
But
that
the show got wrecked.
yeah.
They wrecked it. And the thing in the end was like a slap in the face.
Well, the whole series was a slap in the face,
But that final thing where he lets her get away with...
Yeah, he sacrifices himself for her,
prison.
And they basically frame it as that's him doing the right thing, is sacrificing himself so that this woman can get away with all the things that she did, all the horrible things she did. Yeah.
That part in the end.
Yeah.
And, I can remember that. It's, sometimes I can't remember all these details, but I really can remember that because it really made me mad.
I know.
And, and I knew, too, that he was so... Remember, he ingratiated himself with the worst of the worst. So they kind of trusted him, so he was already going to have that backup in prison.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to do anything bad to him because they knew that he helped them all the time. Did everything he could for them. Helping the bad guy get through, because he was so good at lawyering. He was just very clever, and he got a lot of them off, or minimal of a punishment as they could get. And so he knew he was going to be okay. He would still be not free. He would be a prisoner. And she gets away and does whatever she damn well pleases. And that really made me mad. That whole last thing, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, really?
The last shot is him doing the finger guns for her. He's going like, pew, pew, pew. And then she looks back, and the last shot is her because it's like, oh, she's the main character, not him.
And that's not true. It's not called Better Call Kim. It's Better Call Saul.
That was trash. But, Dark Winds, they can learn. They can learn, Safi.
Now, it's all about this part of the world of Arizona and New Mexico, the Four Corners, southern Colorado a little bit, Nevada, Utah, and that whole area out there, but mainly Arizona, New Mexico. Both of those shows covered both. So
that's it.
That's it. So goodbye, everybody.
No, that's not goodbye.
Well, goodbye about this. Now we have to say, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
God, guys.
Just subscribe if you'd like to. We welcome new subscribers every day. And become a member of our Patreon, which Marco is basically the person who organizes it all and does most of the work. And also, if you do that, you can actually get a copy of his movie short, which is available in black and white or color. And I've seen it. I think it's pretty good. It's his very first thing, his first project. And what I like, too, is that it's available in both styles, black and white or color.
Well, see, originally, it wasn't really thought of as its own complete thing. It was supposed to be sort of like a preview for another episode. But then I changed my mind, so it's kind of like its own thing. Okay?
Okay, so I guess that's it.
Yeah.
So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.